Maranatha. And welcome back to part 41 of The Fire is Coming. This is March the 12th, 2000. And 2026 by man's calendar. I have some things I really feel pressing on me this evening that I want to discuss. But before I get into all of that, I've got scriptures that I want to read. But first, let me just do a little spoiler here. Here's a disclaimer. This is going to be about the rapture a little bit and the tribulation. We're going to talk about those two things. There are people that say that we're not in the tribulation. There are people that say that we are. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But first, I want to talk about some scriptures that many do not even look at nor put together with anything, I don't think. There's a reason for that. You don't really study. You didn't search the scriptures really to understand these things. Here's what happened. Someone told you the scripture was not real, or that the rapture was not real, because the word rapture wasn't in the Bible. No, the word rapture itself is not in there. Catching away is in there. That is what the rapture is about, the catching away. For those that will be caught up to meet the Lord. But you don't have to worry about that. If you don't believe in it, you will not be one of those. Because God will not reward unbelief. Because it is a sin. We'll discuss this stuff. Even if it takes 2 parts to discuss all this, we will do that. But hopefully I can get it all in this one part. Not to limit God, just I know your all's mind and how you wander off. Your attention span can't be on anything for more than 15 to 20 minutes, which is a shame. Paul preached so long one night that a boy fell asleep and fell out the window. Fell to his death in the street. Then Paul went right down there with the power of God on him from the preaching still and preached that boy right back to life. Where is that anointing at today? You can't even preach the spiritually dead back to life. It is written, let them that are spiritual restore such a one, but you all are not being restored by each other. Why? Because you don't really believe in the Spirit. But we'll establish that as we go on through. Let me first get into these particular scriptures, because as I was trying to get a few other scriptures together, God took me here to these scriptures in my search, and For whatever reason, the Lord wants them brought out. So I'm going to speak them. Then I'll get back into the other ones I was going for and make the other statements I'm going to make. But also, here's your disclaimer. If you don't believe in the rapture, you're definitely not going to like this. But you need to hear it. If you don't believe in the tribulation, you certainly aren't going to like this. But you still need to hear it. Now, let's go on into Zechariah 13:7 for a moment. Zechariah 13:7. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn mine hand upon the little ones. Y'all forgot about these verses. Moving on, let's go to Mark 14:27. Come back and watch these again if you need to get these verses to study out for yourself. Mark 14:27. And Jesus said unto them, all ye shall be offended because of me this night. For it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. Matthew 26:31. Then saith Jesus unto them, all ye shall be offended because of me this night. For it is written, I will smite the shepherd and scatter the flock. It is written that I shall smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad. Isaiah 40:11. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm, and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are with young. Who's his arm? Who is the arm of the Lord? Just saying. Zechariah 11:7. And I will feed the flock of the slaughter, even you, O poor of the flock. And I took unto me 2 staves. The one I shall call beauty, and the other I called bands. And I fed the flock. Indeed. John 16:32. Behold, the hour cometh, yea, and is now come, that ye shall be scattered, every man to his own, and shall leave me alone. And yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me. All this happened. Jesus was put on the tree, and what happened? The flock was scattered. And still is. You have still not truly come back together in unity under Christ alone, under Jesus himself. But what does it say right there? I am not alone because the Father is with me. Sometimes the Lord wants us to be alone for our purpose to be revealed in us and for our purpose to be fulfilled in us. And so many of you out there be worrying about why God has got you alone at this moment. Stop focusing on the aloneness. Start focusing on what it is Jesus wants you to find in Him. And you can't find it in the world. You can't find it in just looking for a soulmate or all this kind of stuff. You're looking for the wrong thing. You're supposed to be searching for the kingdom of heaven. That's where you'll find your purpose. That's where God will reveal His plan to you while you're searching for His kingdom. And here is one of the, do you know what the saddest verse in the Bible is? Right here it is. The saddest, not the shortest. The saddest verse in the whole Bible. And no, I'm not talking about worried about his head died. That's not saddest. That was deliverance for His people. That was salvation for His people. That was the atonement for His people. The saddest is this one right here. Mark 14, verse 50. And they all forsook Him and fled. Have you ever been forsaken by anyone? Let me tell you a little secret, folks. You can't forsake the Lord if you haven't never truly been with Him. You have to first go and be with Him before you can forsake Him. So, just saying. But anyways, now I want to get into the other scriptures and the other statements that I need to make. So, I'm going to ask that you bear with me on these, because I know a good many of you do not believe in the rapture. But like I've already stated, you don't believe, a lot of you don't believe in it just because someone else told you it was not in the Word and you believed them instead of seeking it and searching it out for yourself to see if it was real. Yep, that's what you did. You can't say that you don't understand about the tribulation and about the rapture or about any of the word that is there for us to search. That won't cut it. And do you know why that won't cut it? Because Jesus told us something in the book of James that's very important. James 1, verse 5 and 6. If any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he who wavereth is like the sea driven with the wind and tossed. You have to believe that God's going to answer your prayer when you ask for wisdom about these things. So see, you could have asked the Lord to reveal Himself to you You could have asked the Lord to reveal His truth about the rapture to you, whether it be real or not, whether it be in the Word, which it very much is. It's just not called the rapture. It's called the catching away, because the rapture is, that word rapture comes from the word raptoros, which is a Latin word. So you're not going to find that in an English translation of the Holy Bible. But just because someone else told you there was no such thing, you believe that rather than to seek the Lord for it. You did not try the spirits to see whether they be of God or not. So when you miss heaven, it's because you did not try the spirits. You didn't trust the Lord in what His Word said. Nicodemus was given a chance too by God. Jesus offered him the chance to join them, and he refused because he could not leave the Sanhedrin. He could not leave what he had already known. He could not give up the fancy rich lifestyle he was accustomed to. What would people think? But in his heart of hearts, he still knew there was something about Jesus. But he still chose the world over Jesus, just like you're doing today. You chose what someone else told you over what is fact. You know something? You didn't ask Jesus to reveal it to you. But here's the thing. Faith isn't believing in what you can see. That's not faith. If you can see it, it's already manifested. Faith isn't believing in what you can see. It's believing in what you can't see. Just because you know it's real. I know the rapture is real because I asked the Lord to reveal it to me with an open heart and an open mind. Now, if you don't find these things, it's your own fault. It's not the Lord's. You had a space and an opportunity in which to study His Word and to ask Him to reveal things to you, to give you wisdom and knowledge in these things. For years, you've had these opportunities, and you did not try the Spirit. Never once did you come to Him and ask, Lord, reveal to me, is your rapture real? If it is, explain it to me. Put it in my heart. Help me to understand it. But you didn't do that. So you will be left behind because you don't believe. And unbelief is a sin. But anyways, let's talk a little bit about this. People are saying, we can't possibly be in the tribulation already. No, this has to happen, and that has to happen, and this has to happen. We're going to know. There will be no question to it if we're in the tribulation. Really? Is that your answer? I hope some of you watchmen get to hear this. Is that your answer? That we can't be in it? Why? Because you don't feel it touching you? Is that not like the harpazo of God? Does He not protect His own? Oh no, that couldn't be it. Why? Because you didn't go flying off into the air? How do you know you didn't? How do you know you didn't? Because He said He would lead us gently. And if He's going to lead those with young gently, you know He's going to lead everybody else gently. because he's no respect maker. But I'm going to use these particular scriptures right now to address some of that. Could we be in the tribulation? Absolutely. Why wouldn't we know it? Because Luke 17:26 through 33 explains it. Whenever we are in the tribulation, we will not know. And here's why. No, things aren't going to be happening on such a scale that anybody but the believers who are studying the prophecies of this Bible are going to understand. The world is never going to notice it, so don't wait for them to notice it and get on board. They know something's up, they just can't explain it. They believe the hype of global warming. They believe the hype of aliens. They believe the hype of all this other stuff that's going on too, though. So, let's go into Luke 17:26 through 33. And as it was in the days of Noe, so shall it also be in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they did drink, or they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. If you're blinded and you're not seeing this fact, the flood will come and it will destroy you. Because they were so busy in the world doing what? They were busy in the world. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, and they were given in marriage until the flood come, right? They were distracted from the truth, from the word, from the Lord's coming. They were distracted from the end that was upon them, from the tribulation itself. Though they were warned by Noah the whole time he was building the ark. Going on, let's go on with this. Verse 28. Likewise also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sowed, they planted, they built. Let me just say to you, some of you want to say, oh, well, food isn't so costly that you can't buy